Hello friends, so welcome to this sequels group by tutorial. So in this video we will go through three steps. First, explain group by concepts and how group by works. The second thing we'll do is I'll share query with you, so we will design some tables into our database so we can test this with database example. Also, like most common errors that happens when we use group by function, so how to handle those. And also one last step is like how group by works with multiple dimensions, so when we are using multiple columns with group by, right? So let's start with basic understanding. So currently we can see this is a small table which is like that has like students, which is like student A, student B and C. Subjects, like which particular students in enrolled in which particular subject. So now let's say I have a use case where I wanted to check like each students enroll in how many subjects. So what we are looking at is like I want to know like student and how many subjects, so basically count of subjects, so that I know like a student in enroll in this subject, B in this, something like this. Okay, so here A, B, C, and count of subject, let's say currently A is enrolled in 2, right? So 2 subjects. B is enrolled in 3 subjects, so we'll write 3 in here. And C is enrolled in these 2 subjects, so 2. So if we want this output, like this is exactly what group by do, like it group by student column, so that we are getting only one record for that particular column, and count like how many numbers we are getting. In simple terms, like this is SQL table, we will write query so that SQL provides us this thing, which is why like we use group by. So I hope like the concept is clear for everyone, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. So now up to this part we are clear, right? Perfect. So next thing we'll do is let's open SSMS and we will perform this live example. Again, if you didn't set up SSMS or SQL server, I'll share those video links with you guys in the description. So please follow my those tutorials for like on how to install SSMS and SQL server and set it up. Perfect. So now we are connected to our database, and if we expand our database, I already created a video on like how to import AdventureWorks, so we are also good there. I'll share that link as well. So now new query, and in new query we will write this. So this is, don't worry too much about the script, once you follow me along you will learn everything like after all my tutorials. So here from the databases we'll select AdventureWorks 2022 because we want to create our new tables in that, and also like we want to have select from this particular table which is also located under the same database. So currently if I expand AdventureWorks, let's say expand tables, here we can't see any customer order table, right? Customer order. So what we'll do is using this command we will create a customer order tables for our this case study. Perfect. So now we can see this table is created, so we can't see that table in here, right? So you have to right click on AdventureWorks and hit refresh and expand the tables again. Now we can see our customer orders is table is here. So perfect, that's what we wanted. Now we will insert data into that table, so we will execute this particular command, and here we can see 40 rows affected. And for a simple check, what we will do is select star, which is all the records from table name, so which is dbo dot customer orders, that is our new table. So I'll select this. So now we can see we have these 14 records. So perfect, we are good up to here. So now we set it up. So what I'll do is let me delete this part for now, so we will I won't confuse you guys. Okay, now I created the slide for you. So first we'll start with group by concept as I mentioned. So this is the same data as university, but what here we are doing, like we have customer IDs and which customer place we are, like how which orders. So here what we'll do, just like student count, what we'll do is I want to check in this particular case, like one particular customer how many orders they placed. So here we can see like customer 11,000 placed this particular three orders, like 11,001 placed this particular three orders, 12 placed two orders only, and we can see like this particular customer placed four orders. So we want this output, and we have this table as you can see in here. So what we'll do is we will select customer ID column, and what we want is count of sales order ID from our table where yeah, and what we'll do is group by. Here we don't require any conditions, right? So and group by again, like what dimension, now you think about yourself, like on which basis we have to do group by so that we will get sales order count. So of course customer ID, right? So now customer ID. Okay, so what I did is by customer ID I did group by, and and we are doing count of sales order ID from DBO customer orders. Perfect. So let's execute this code. Perfect. So this is what we wanted, right? Like here we can see the exact same results that we can see in here, 33224, and this particular customer has four orders. So we are good up to here. So now you know like how to do group by in SQL. Now the next part I am moving is group by most common error. So when error occurs, like this particular error, so what happens is, let's assume this scenario. Now I am removing group by. Perfect. And now what you are saying to SQL is, let's say do one thing first, select star from DBO dot customer. So let me show you the table so we can follow along here. Customer orders, my bad. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll like execute this piece of code, and now here we can see, okay, in this query, like try to understand from SQL's perspective. Like currently like as a SQL I don't have any knowledge like predefined intelligence, right? So in that case what happens, I told SQL I need customer ID and count of sales order ID, right? So here I am doing aggregation. I need counts of this particular field, but by what group? That is SQL asking you, like what group? Like you never defined any group, because let's say here there are like it is the same customers, right? So unless we don't do grouping on this particular field, how SQL know? Like SQL has to do counts on the basis of this group. So currently like the SQL don't have enough information. So whenever you execute this query, it will throw you that error, like customer ID column, this one is not contained, like it is not either aggregated or group by. So either we have to do aggregations like max min, or we have to do groupings, so that is expected, right? So once we do customer ID, it will resolve the problem. So either like we have to do aggregations just like we did in here, count, or we have to do group by. That makes sense now, right? And if you have any questions, like feel free to drop in comment. I'll create another video for that explanation. Now we'll move on to last and third part, this one. So group by with multiple dimensions. So again we'll execute this code. Okay, we already have the complete table in here, right? So what happens is like uh, sometimes when you do group by, it's not always the case here. Like let me execute this query first. So here we can see only one entry per customer ID, but that is not always the case when you work with multiple dimensions. So what does I mean by that? Let me show you this particular example. So here you can see I put row, so we can see how many rows in here, 14. So this is the exact same data, it is from here, like it has 14 rows, right? So this has 14 rows, But what we'll do is, now we'll do group by on two parameters. One is customer ID and the second thing is flag. So what happens is, when you do grouping using two dimensions, what happens is, it will, for this particular group, it will see like how many unique records and they'll do grouping. For instance, let's say in this particular case, you can see 11,000 has flag 1 and 2 only, right? Here like number 11,000 has flag 1 and 2. So when you do grouping using these two fields, like what is your output, like in your output how many rows you are expecting? Just like think about this, pause the video here and think about it. So it's 2, right? Because this row should be 1 only, because this is one grouping, and this is another because this is unique group than the first one. So we can see the same thing in the output as well. In this particular table, right table, here what we can say is like 11,000 customer ID flag 1. And now what we are doing, like the amount due is aggregating, because we perform sum in here, right? So you can see like these two numbers get added up to make this number. And for other entry, which is like, of course, like that is different grouping, that came as is, because there is no any other entry with the same group, so it came as is. So same thing happened for all the, like you can check for other customers as well. So let me replicate that case here. So we have flag in here, customer ID and total due, right? So what we'll do is, we need grouping on customer and flag, as I mentioned. And instead of count of sales order ID, what we need is sum of total due. Perfect. And again, now here, like if I execute this query, should it work or not? Just think about it, write your answer. And let me tell you one thing, no. Why? Because all the fields should be aggregated or group by. So here we are saying SQL, I want to group by this. So group by this, and since we have flag column in here, it won't work because we never mentioned what to do with flag. Either count flag, or like we want that also in grouping. So yes, we need that also in grouping. So we'll say group by flag as well. So as soon as I execute this query, all right, so we can see the same like same output, right? For customer 11,000, we can see 5,358, the exact same value. So yeah, so that's how group by works with multiple dimensions. So basically we pretty much cover everything, like how to use group by, what is most frequent errors, and also like how to work with like multiple dimensions with group by. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comment section, so that I can create another video. And yeah, please subscribe my channel, so that like you can learn end-to-end SQL. And going forward, we'll do problem solving as well, right? So hit the subscribe button now. Thank you.